Hello and welcome back to the MLB DFS slate breakdown for Monday, June 16th. We're back and we're breaking it down. We got a decent sized slate today. It does start slightly earlier than normal, so just a heads up there. Starts about 20 minutes earlier at I think 3:45 or 3:40 Pacific Standard Time, 6:40 for you on that east side. Now, let's dive into it. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. Come join us at LineStar. We do have a free trial, 7-day free through the app stores, Android or iOS app stores, and that will give you access to the apps, to the websites for best ball, props, DFS, all tools, all sports we cover. Great deal. Try us out and then come join us at $39.99 per month. Now, let's dive in. We're going to start off by going through yesterday's perfect lineups and the winning lineups from both DraftKings and FanDuel. We will follow it up by some pitchers to consider today and some stacks. Now, FanDuel perfect lineup. Grant Holmes went absolutely nuts. 15 Ks, 6.1 innings, 2 earned runs. Braves get the loss, but doesn't matter. Holmes is the pitcher you needed. He put up 62. Just one heck of a game. Congrats to him. Then we had a 3-man Philly stack with one-offs after that. Winning lineup went to, Giant Squid, who won 10K. They had Grant Holmes. They had a Philly and Baltimore 4-3-1 that got it done. So congrats to Giant Squid. Let's check out some DK action now. See what we got over here. We got Brayan Bello and Grant Holmes, 3-man Philly, and one-offs again. So pretty similar lineups on both sides. Only used 39,000 salary over here on DraftKings, so well below. 244.4 was that winning or the perfect lineup score, and Big Mark took it down. He won by 7. He had Wheeler, he had Holmes, both went nuts. Wheeler much more chalky than Brayan Bello, and then he had that Philly-Baltimore stack with a one-off of Tampa. So congrats to them. Love to see it, Big Mark. 150K. Now let's dive into today's slate and see what we can uncover here. So 7-game slate. Not much as far as weather to really worry about. We do have the Tampa Bay, just summer conditions. So always a chance of a pop-up or something there. But it does look like it's going to be a decent one today. Outside of that, all the other rain or situation looks like it should probably move out before the games start. Now, our highest owned pitcher, we got Jake Irving, 8,100 versus Colorado. Look, pitching's tough today. There's, kind of warts on everybody. It's not like there's one set in stone. We got to go with this guy. But I still don't love chalky Jake Irving. I mean, I can't go to a chalky pitcher with a 16% K rate. The upside just isn't there. Now, he is in a great spot. Colorado's awful. They can't win games. They've been terrible on the road. Their BVP data versus Irvin is awful. Their splits aren't very good. So, Irvin's a fine pick. And he does have some ceiling. We have seen him go 8 innings, 7 Ks, 6.1 with 9 Ks, 7 with 6 Ks. It does happen. He can be efficient and work deep into games and give you that ceiling. The thing is that just most likely he goes 5-6 inning. He gets 3 to 5 Ks, and at 8,100, he's fine. Just doesn't win you a GPP, and that's what we're trying to do here. Our projection's only 14-2, so kind of out on him. Consensus 15. Don't love it. See why people are going there, but I don't love it. 8K, Lance McCullers, 15.67, consensus 16.78, 31% owned. I would rather go to McCullers, but it is a much tougher spot. But the upside's there. I mean, he's had 28 and 29 and 2 of what is like 7 starts. So there's absolutely a chance to go here. However, it is in Sacramento, which has been very, very hitter friendly. Wind is blowing out, temps in the 80s, set 27.7% combined K rate. However, StatCast data is scary. 43.8% hard contact, 37% fly balls. Guys are hitting him well when they do hit him. And over the last 20 games, the A's 303 average, 233 ISO, 386 WOBA versus righties. So not a great spot for McCullers. But that upside at this price has me interested. I'm going to have some. Not going to go overboard on him, but he's definitely in play here. Next, we got Clark Schmidt, 8,700 versus the A's. Of the 3 highest owned guys, he's probably my favorite in this spot. 4.05 FIP over the last 20, 2.65 over the last 5. K rate in the mid-20s. He is allowing 43% fly balls, but other than that, all the StatCast data looks great. Not much hard contact. So guys are hitting the ball in the air, but it's not really going anywhere. The average exit velocity is only 88. Average distance is 175. They're soft pop-ups. It's can of corn. And Clark Schmidt has some upside, so I'm totally fine going here. And Angels, while they can get hot, while they can hit a couple homers, 235 average over the last 20 with a 305 WOBA isn't super scary. They do have a 191 ISO over the last 150 games, so you do have to worry about that home run pop. But all in all, I like the upside at 8,700 for Clark Schmidt. Don't mind going there. Next, we got Logan Gilbert, 9,700, 28% owned. He is my favorite pitcher on this slate. He is coming back. It's his first outing since going on IL. He's been out since April 25th. 2.72 FIP over his last 20, 2.11 over his last 5. He was good in his last rehab start, going striking out 6 in 5 innings. Guy's the best pitcher on this slate, without a doubt, and I don't mind going here. Combined K rate, we got him at almost 32%. 25% K rate for Boston. There's no Devers anymore. That's a little bit of a hole in the lineup. I mean, I know they have Roman Anthony that they pulled up. They got plenty of other bats, but the team is a little bit hit or miss as far as that hitting, and losing Devers doesn't improve that situation. He's also averaging 34% more fantasy points at home. Logan Gilbert, if people are scared because it's his first start out, I'm going to have a ton of them. All right, now pivot time. I'll talk about Papoya shortly because he is a little bit interesting at only 7,600 for me. 4.29 FIP over his last 20, 3.82 over the last 5. K rate in the 23%. He's been really good over the short term. He's in a tough spot versus Baltimore, who has finally started hitting, at least versus righties. But there's not a ton to choose from on this slate, and I think he's a fine value option at 7,600 on DraftKings. All right, Dylan Cease, 8,400. Look, he did absolutely great in Petco versus the Dodgers. I was totally off him on that start, and I'm going to stay off him for all the same reason. He gives it up to the lefties, but now he's away where he averages 30% less. I don't love this spot for him. The upside, however, is there, especially at 8,400. He's a guy that can strike out anybody, has big time upside. So I think you need to consider him at low ownership. If he is high owned, I'd be totally out. But the fact that he's low owned with his ownership, or low owned with his upside, I have to consider a little bit. But mind you, LineStar projection super low on him. Consensus is super low on him. It's not a great spot for him. Zach Eflin, 7,800 versus the Rays. He's been doing well lately, but 5.69 FIP through that those five starts. So not, great. The upside is kind of there, but don't love it. At 7,800, you can at least consider him. However, he's not even one of the guys that I wanted to highlight just kind of wanted to mention him that you could go there. Lucas Giolito, 7,300 versus the Seattle Mariners. Game total 7. Giolito, most boom-bust pitcher on this slate. He can give you mid-20s or give you negative. And for that reason, we got to highlight him. Nobody's going to want to play him because it's risky as heck, but the upside is just too great. While he only has a 22% K rate, it's when he's on, the K rate's like 28%. When he's off, the K rate is like 16%. All in all, I'm interested to go here, even though Seattle has had the better of him in his career. 68 plate attempts, 315 average, 3 home runs, 241 ISO, 429 WOBA. Hasn't faced them since 2023. I don't mind a little bit of Giolito, but this is one of those ones where I will play both sides. And I think you got to talk about Sandy Alcantara. Even though it's versus the Phillies, seems like he may be figuring out 3.61 FIP over his last 5, but 4.68 over the last 20. It could just be his name recognition as far as why I'm interested. Maybe it's a little bias there that I think he's going to figure it out, but he is averaging 31% more fantasy points while at home. If he pops up in the lineups, I'm not going to hate it, but I'm definitely not getting too much of him. Now let's get over to FanDuel and our high-owned Logan Gilbert. He should be. Clark Schmidt, second. He should be. Those two are the main use cases for sure. Jake Irvin at 8K absolutely has some interest. The ability for a quality start or chances is pretty high here. He gets that. He goes 7 innings, 4 or 5 Ks, and there's the path for sure. I mean, maybe Seattle doesn't let Logan Gilbert go 100 pitches. Maybe they only end up pulling him at like 90 or something. He doesn't get a quality start. Clark Schmidt can definitely not get a quality start. And then there's a clear path where Irvin could be very useful here. Dylan Cease at 9,500. A little too expensive for me on this slate. Don't mind a little bit though. And then I think you have to consider Giolito at 7,400 because he can definitely get you into that high 40s at that price. And McCullers expensive at 9K, but upside is there to warrant a little bit. My favorite pitchers, absolutely Gilbert and Schmidt, though. Now, let's get into some stacks, see if we can round this out quickly and get you guys on your way with your Monday. Our highest owned stack, we got Houston versus JP Sears. Makes a ton of sense. Low 80s temps, winds blowing out. Sears has just been an absolute batting practice pitcher lately, and Astro's been hitting a little bit. So don't mind some Stros or the Trastros. Highest projected, we got Dodgers. We got Philadelphia. Both look absolutely great. I like the spot versus Dylan Cease, and it's going to end up being lower owned because it's versus Dylan Cease. So I don't mind going there a little bit. Also, pretty strong winds at Dodger Stadium today. Warm temps, 70s, and winds blowing out in a stadium that does play up to the home run a little bit. So absolutely interested. Philadelphia versus Alcantara. 4.68 FIP over his last 20. I mean, it's not great. You can absolutely try and pick on them with a good offense. Our highest value, we got Seattle and Houston. Both I absolutely love. Seattle, Giolito, we covered him. I mean, he has a 5.97 FIP. It's not like he's a great pitcher, but he can have some great outings. When those great outings don't come, he's given up 5-6 earned runs and can get absolutely blown up. So I think Seattle you need to consider, even though they're at home in that very pitcher-friendly park. Highest ceiling, we got the A's and Tampa with a little Dodgers and Houston mixed in. A's versus McCullers. McCullers been good, but very pitcher or hitter-friendly park they're playing at. I don't mind a little bit. Tampa Bay versus Eflin. Has been good lately, but 5.69 shows maybe he's been a little lucky, and that is a hitter-friendly venue as well. Dodgers we covered. In our high leverage spot, Dodgers and A's, like them both. We hit the team tab. Highest implied total, 5.5. Houston Astros versus JP Sears. Allowing a lot of hard contact. Bullpen's not very good. Makes a ton of sense to me. Washington popping up at 5. Versus the Rockies. Poor bullpen. Palmquist hasn't been great. Makes sense. Dodgers at 4.9 versus Cease. They're going to have to get to Cease. The bullpen is pretty good. Yankees 4.8 versus Jose Soriano. The bullpen's terrible, but Soriano does put it together, is efficient, can work deeper into games, can get blown up. Absolutely, anybody can, but it's not a spot I really like to attack on this slate. The A's, McCullers, fine getting a little bit of them. Philadelphia versus Alcantara, absolutely. Tampa Bay and Baltimore, 4.3 and 4.2. They're 100% in play on this slate. Just because of the Tampa Bay situation. Miami at 4.2 implied runs versus McAbel. Abel, 4.5 FIP in his career. Hard contact, high average exit velocity. The bullpen's not all that great. I think Miami makes some sense and going to come in low owned. San Diego at 4.1. Does look like Kasparis is probably going to be the long relief for Shohei Ohtani, who is going to open. I don't love the Padres in this spot. I think this is a very tough spot. Maybe it's just my biases that I don't fully trust them with how bad they've been playing. But I think Kasparis is a little bit better pitcher than people give him credit for. So he's going to probably do long relief behind Ohtani. Not a spot I love. Now, Ohtani, it's his first pitching action for like 500 or 600 days, so maybe he's a little rusty. Padres are able to get to him a little bit, but all in all, I don't love it. Colorado, there's going to be some leverage against Jake Irvin, and he's not that great, so it makes some sense to me. Seattle, love the leverage, love the upside here versus Giolito. And then I'm probably out on Angels or Boston. If I get a little bit of I'm fine just for the leverage option because they're two higher-owned pitchers, but I don't love this spot. My favorite offenses, we got Houston, we got the Dodgers, the A's. I like that game environment as one. And then game environment with Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Philly, I don't mind. Miami, I'm interested in. And then Seattle, absolutely, is one of my favorites. So you all have a good one. We'll be back with more. Let's make it happen. Let's make some money. I'll see you guys later. Peace.